Hi, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Rich Estrella, along with Moe Orr and my homie Bob Gibson. Glad that you joined us today as we are coming to the end. It's the pretty much second to the last week of the actual, high school season. But a lot of stuff going on this summer. We're going to be covering a lot of that stuff, so don't think we're going anywhere, all right? Lest some of you think or wish we would. All right, Bob.
Can't get rid of us.
Can't get rid of us, man. We're like cheap suits, all right? Got my Hall of Fame jacket on today.
That's right.
Because another induction, man. I'm not going to brag on myself, though. We're just going to let it all go. And
10 years straight.
I will take my accolades as they come. All right, Bobby, tell us about baseball, man. What a mess baseball ended up being, man. What a mess.
I promised you this is the way it would end up, man. You never know when it comes to baseball and softball. And as we take a look at the D1 final, everybody thought it was going to be Foothill and Capo Valley, right?
I
Moe had it that way.
Yeah.
Moe had it that way. Foothill and
we
Capo.
talked about it.
Yeah. Foothill and Capistrano Valley move on. Capo Valley 4-2 over Olu. That was the shocker, I think, of the whole day right there. Not so much Foothill.
Bob thinks that was the shocker.
But that really was. You
Come
kidding
on.
me? Olu had a nice path to the finals,
Listen,
but
Bob, I called this from day one. Capo Valley and
said,
Foothill.
Right.
Thank you.
Just like everybody else. Hey, Foothill, coached by the legendary Vince Brown over there. Started his time over at Tustin. Has been at Foothill for a long time, and Vince Brown's forgot more about coaching baseball than you ever knew, Rich.
All right, Bobby Knight.
This doesn't happen in basketball.
This is the whole point, right? Now, Foothill won the mediocre Crestview League. Let's just put it that way, right? Elmo, El Dorado, Esperanza. Now, those are usually very good teams, but this year not so good. But they end up winning that league. But look at the path they got to the playoffs. Santiago, El Toro, Etowanda, Bishop Amat. They didn't have a lot of big wins on the season. Palm Desert, and they lost to Huntington Beach 4-3 in 9 innings earlier this season. So
that's crazy,
they've had
man.
some good teams on the schedule, but not exactly the team you thought would get to the finals. But here they are.
It happens, Bob. Every year there's something like this happens, all right? So don't act like it's, shocking.
I'm going with Foothill here. I'm going with Foothill.
I
know
going
Moe
with
loves
Orange
Capo
Lutheran. I'm going
Valley.
Orange
Listen,
Lutheran.
man, listen.
Orange Lutheran's sitting at home with the rest of us, but
Bob just killed Foothill, all right? Bob is the kiss of death. If he picks your team, you lose. Thank you very much.
no.
He
Man,
picked Orange Lutheran.
he did. He picked Olu, picks the Rams every year. I mean,
Capo Valley's path is even more. Just never mind. Capo Valley has no business in this final, and yet there they are. There they are.
I'm going Capo Valley.
Good luck to everybody. You might as well. They're the Cinderella of the whole thing. D2, we have Beckman and Yucaipa. Now, this is more the way it was written up, right?
Right.
Beckman's
Beckman,
been the number
of
one
course.
team in Division II all year long. Yucaipa's been right at there near the top as well. Everybody knew this was the way this one was going to turn out as well. So I would expect Beckman, though. Beckman has just been so dominant this year. Beckman could have done well in the D1 bracket as well. That's the kind of team they have this season, so I would expect Beckman to take this one. D3, as we move along, Maranatha and LaSalle.
yeah, LaSalle, baby,
LaSalle.
Pasadena.
Don't forget LaSalle, your old buddy Jim Patrick, his son plays for LaSalle, Rich.
All right.
A little bit of trivia there for
Thank you very much.
And your alma mater.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's my alma mater.
Maranatha, LaSalle, a little bit of a surprise. Maranatha has been the top team in D3 all season long. Look at this in Monrovia, in La Quinta. A couple of teams, again, nobody saw this one coming. Both teams coming out of the middle of the bracket. Flip a coin on this one, too, because what do we tell you? When teams
Bob
get
likes
hot,
flipping coins on all
they
this stuff.
get
He does.
hot. You don't know who's going to get to a final, but when a team gets moving, they
Now-
get rolling. That's what happened with Monrovia, and especially with Monrovia's really
Bob,
had a
I
nice
don't
run
have
through
your
the playoffs.
statistics on coin flip games.
Oh, I've been good this
It's
year.
only when Bob's emphatic that somebody's going to win, that they lose. So I don't know about the coin flips.
My
Mo.
coin flips have been
He does coin flips.
on
I
this
go
year.
straight to Vegas and bet on somebody
Bet
else.
on somebody else.
Mo likes this one, Malibu and Temple City.
Oh, yeah.
Those are two schools real close to each other, too.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way.
Right on the water, too.
It'll be good. Looks
Playing
like a
at Cal
good
State
one.
Fullerton.
Yeah.
And,
Got them all off the water. Go ahead, Bob. What else
is
we
this?
got?
This is D6.
Moreno
Moreno
Valley and
and
Poly.
Pasadena Poly.
Yep.
How many polys are out there? A lot of schools called
There's
polys.
probably like
but,
6 in
there
Southern
probably
California.
are.
Long Beach,
There probably
Riverside, everybody's got one.
Yeah.
And then we got this one, Fillmore and Trinity Classical Academy.
Where's that at, Bob?
No clue.
How do you not know? You're
That's
supposed
a
to be the
fake
guy.
school?
It's somewhere
Yeah.
in Southern California,
I'm gonna
man.
look
Come
this
on,
up.
I knew that.
That's
Jeez.
Carlos. I'm blaming that one on Carlos.
Carlos. Got
That's
it.
his problem out there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another fake school he came up with.
It's a fake
All
school.
football season long, he had all those fake schools he kept reporting on.
And Fillmore's,
That's gotta be
yeah,
right.
he was.
No, Fillmore's the real deal. Fillmore's been a school for like 600 years.
Fillmore's famous for those earthquakes out there, man. That town always gets hammered by earthquakes. This is worse than
Fillmore High has
Palm
been
Springs.
around since the 20s at least.
How do you know that?
Softball. D1 softball. Now,
Are we doing
okay.
softball now?
Here we go. We're
Are
moving over
we
to
really
softball.
wrap up baseball just
We
like
just
that?
did. That
Just
was
like
it.
that? Dude, I had so much
we
more.
got to
Let's
look
go,
at softball.
Bob.
We got to have
Let's
time
go.
to look at
Let's
softball.
go.
Gar and Norco.
We got AJ Reyes standing by from Santa Fe.
You can definitely argue that these are the top two teams. Hey, by the way, that
argue that.
that Gar score just came in today, just a couple hours ago. 1-0 Gar in 8 innings over Chino Hills. Norco
Wow.
blitzed Los Altos 9-0 to get to this one. Here's a little trivia for you there. Here's a little something just to go into the finals here. These two teams did play each other at the Michelle Carew Classic just about a month ago. Gar rallied down 4-1 late in the game to pull it out 6-4. So if that says anything to you,
Who do you pick? That's what we want.
No, don't say nothing,
'cause I
Bob.
wanna
Let it
pick
no.
opposite.
Don't let
No?
him. Don't say nothing. Just say this is
Don't
gonna
do
be a
it.
great game.
it's going to be a great
Bob,
game.
you can't be ruining all these people's hopes and dreams, man. You already ruined the first one. I'm not even going to repeat that.
I'm taking
Let's just
Norco,
move
Mo.
on.
Norco.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
Man, I just told him not to do
Get
that.
back over here, Rick.
D2
I don't know
ML
about
King.
this guy.
They've been ranked 1 or 2 all season long in D2. ML King's going to play Newberry Park for a CIF
Bob, we're playing
title.
this tape back next week.
Well,
You better leave Division 4 alone. I don't want to hear
will
nothing about that
see.
Division 4.
No, we got to go to D3 first. West Torrance, because that's big here. We got to make sure West Torrance is represented against Redlands East Valley.
A tough one.
Always.
I don't know.
Red-
Allison,
Rev-
what's up, man? West Torrance going to represent or what? I mean,
Do
they're
it.
representing,
Do
but
it
they got to
there.
come on with the bacon, baby. Come on.
And D4, we're going to talk a little bit more about this one too as we roll along, because this one is San Marcos and Santa Fe.
That's right. And we just
yeah.
so happen to have on the line with us the head coach at Santa Fe High. And Bob, you stay out of this one. I don't want you talking to Coach Reyes. I don't want you jinxing anybody over at Santa Fe
I'm
High.
gonna walk out of
man.
this one.
He's a jinx.
Matter of fact, go ahead and pick San Marcos, and I want you to mean it with conviction.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to you, Coach.
Coach Reyes is standing by. Coach, how are you today? Hello, Coach.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
We're doing
right.
great.
Excellent.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on a big win yesterday.
Again, I guess I'm
We-
getting a bad signal.
Uh-oh.
It's all right. It's going to slow down probably right now. It always happens on Wednesday nights. But let me tell you something, man. Great victory yesterday. Bob was predicting gloom and doom for you guys, and that's a good thing for Santa Fe High. Matter of fact, we stood here when they had the pairings out, and I told Bob after who were you picking? You were picking like Sonora
no idea.
to win it all, the number 2 seed. And I said, Bob, Santa Fe is running away with this thing, and they did. Matter of fact, next week we're playing that tape.
Yeah,
Coach,
I mean, I'm sorry, guys. It's a bad signal, but when it comes to that game, I mean, our player, we battled all game. So did our hitter, the best she could, helping us out in the last minute and getting that big hit. I mean, it was big for her. It was big for us.
well, let's talk about it. We know it's extra innings, but on this show, if you know anything about this show, you guys went into OT, baby. You guys were in overtime. And it was great to see you guys
Yeah.
battle back. You were down by a run during the extra inning affair, and you guys come back getting 2 runs to win the thing. But you know what? You guys played very strong in the playoffs. Did you guys gel right at the end of the season? I know you had a good season. You finished second in your league, but I mean, did you guys gel more towards the playoffs in the second part of the season?
Well, yeah, I mean,
All right.
I like that's
all
all right,
right.
Coach.
That's all right.
Keep it real,
you got
baby.
me? I'm trying to switch over to a better phone.
That's all right. I love this.
Look
don't
at the
you?
excitement. Look at
All
the
right, now, wait a
excitement
minute.
right
Yeah, you see
there.
the
All right,
point.
guys,
You got
see,
to
that's
put
the
that on
whole
the
thing.
big screen, guys. While Coach gets this, you guys figure this out. But this is the winning hit, man. They got bases loaded, and just gets up, just whacks it out. Probably would have been a single, but 2 runs scored, and that was it. Look at the
Look
dugout.
at the
crowd,
yeah,
man.
I mean,
that's
she's
what it's
been-
all about right there.
Now this is small town highlights
Yeah,
right
she's
here.
been-
This is
she's
somebody
been
in the
tough all
dugout
year.
wearing a helmet
And-
cam, checking it out. Awesome. But that's exciting right there.
Yeah,
People are
the
excited about
parents,
it.
the kids, that's great.
All right, Coach.
Yeah.
Your guys' first appearance in a SIA championship now since 1990. How's everybody feel about that over there?
Well, I mean, they're all pumped up. I mean, like I told somebody before that one of our parents was the last one there, and her daughter's actually experiencing it now for the first time. We have people come in from 1968 talking to us and cheering us on. We have, the whole school. Our school is a small school, small city. The whole city's rallying around us. We're the only team playing in our school right now, and it's a nice feeling. So these girls are pumped up. They're ready to go. They've been wanting it since day one.
Yeah, you're the only one. I believe in the whole Del Rio that's still playing. You guys got good softball teams out there.
Yeah, all of that whole league is really good. The first base team, Lucerna, they won CIF a couple years ago, and just pushed us even more. And I've gotten text messages from the other coaches in the league telling us that take it for the league and push it for us. And it's fun. It's fun knowing that these girls have one more game together. After 4 years, 10 seniors. That's a lot of seniors to have.
Now, we usually don't talk about this. We usually don't talk about individual performances on this show because, as you know, there's like 800 schools we got to cover. So we can't waste time just talking about individual performances. But I got to tell you, man, I was checking out Stephanie Jimenez, and what a monster at the plate this young lady is. I mean, she's got everybody beat on your team by more than twice. Stats, you got 9 home runs, 40 RBIs, I mean, just an outstanding ball player at the plate.
She's a beast on the plate. I mean, she's one of the most feared hitters in this area.
I would walk her. She got
She's hit monster runs.
600 batting
every
average.
time she hits a home run. It's a monster.
Yeah, she's just, oh man, I would want to see her at the plate. She's just nasty up there. But you got to be there. You want to be a champ. You got to have that one player that can just change the game. 9 home runs, Coach, is a lot of home runs in softball.
Yeah, it's a lot. 9 home runs. I mean, against Sierra Canyon, that's all we needed was her up to bat. By the second batter, she hit a home run, and our pitcher came up and shut down that team and threw a no-hitter.
Now, Annalise Garcia has really been your workhorse on the mound all season. Played a lot of games. And, of course, a little bit later on, Jessica Lopez comes along. Little injury at the start of the season, kept her out of a lot of games. How important was Jessica, now with 2 no-hitters, and one was in the playoffs? How important was that to have her back?
She's actually had 2 in the playoffs, back
to back.
Oh, was
it 2? Okay. How important was that for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, to give her rest, she's a power pitcher, and power pitchers, they give up all their effort through the whole entire game. So to save her for half the season, and have a great pitcher like Annalise, taking the majority of the throws for the whole year, and then to switch it off and pass it off to Jessica, that's great.
Well,
it's a great thing to have. I mean, also,
yeah. Garcia's getting a little tired because you're starting all these games because you lost another starter. I mean, it's got to be welcome relief. And now you have 2 really good pitchers going in, to the final. Hopefully, you only need one. Hopefully, you only need one this Saturday at 3 o'clock. In general, your team coming in, did you think that they had enough camaraderie and togetherness to get to this point? Because to become a champion, especially at the high school level, you got to like each other. And that's difficult to get a whole team of people to really like each other and root for one another.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have 10 seniors. They've been playing with each other for, some of them 4 years, some of them 10 years since they were little kids. So they've all dreamt about this moment since day one. And, they've always gelled. They just lacked a little bit of confidence. And I think my staff and myself have installed that with them and pushed them the whole year. And after our first practice game and scrimmages, you could see that they wanted this. And we believe that we're going to end our season in Irvine.
Coach, you guys played Sonora, first game of the year, out of the chute, 6-4 ball game. You guys lost. How does that play into your mindset going into a playoff situation, already being beaten by the team prior?
Well, that game, I mean, we lost Jessica that game. She got hurt. She was out. So it was a big kill for us playing a team like that. That's a really good team, and not having your best player and another player not playing as well as they can. So we knew that we didn't have our best game, and we still had our best game ahead of us, and it proved it yesterday.
Well, Coach, congratulations to you and to all the ladies over at Santa Fe High School. Proud of you guys. Alma mater, standing strong, baby.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. To get as much press as these girls are getting, they've earned it.
Yeah, they definitely earned it. You don't want to call it a Cinderella season because they were pretty good on their own merit. So, You know, one of the top 50 teams
Yes.
in California coming in, and definitely they're definitely, you know, going to be one of those now. Probably one of the top 25 once it's all over. When you
I
get
hope.
that big win on Saturday, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Congra-
sir. That's what we're planning for.
All right, congratulations. Bob Gibson's shutting up. I don't want him saying anything in
I
this
didn't say a
segment,
word.
all right?
I didn't
He's
say
the kiss of
one
death,
word.
Coach. I'm
Not
telling you
one
right
word.
now, Bob, let it go. All right, Coach,
Thank you,
good
guys.
luck, and we'll have highlights from your game next week. We're going to be out there on Saturday. All right,
There we
Coach
go.
AJ Reyes, very fortunate, man. This guy, you know, he's coming in there, he's battling. You know, he had one of his best pitchers. We just talked about it. He had 2 no-hitters in the playoffs. Now, when you're in the playoffs, you know, you got to be pretty good. You can throw a no-hitter in your league against the 10th place team, all right? That's okay. But when you're doing it in the playoffs deep, and I mean, that's something to behold right there. This is how dominant would have she been had she not had that forearm injury.
Right.
I mean, Santa Fe might have been the favorite in this thing, but she came back at the right time, guys.
This is it. This is the time of year you want to
Yeah.
come back and you want to be rocking and rolling. It's right now.
Well,
All right.
Especially with 2, you said 2 dominant pitchers? That's a
Yeah,
big
they have
deal
2.
going into high school.
Garcia was the workhorse. I mean, this poor girl had to take over the load from day one. I mean, she had to go. They had the third one too, but not quite as durable as Garcia. And then to have, you know, Lopez come back in and just throw 2 no-hitters, man, that just takes the
Awesome.
you know, yeah, and your team has a lot of confidence in you now going into the next game.
Right.
So, you know, just good luck to them. Let's get off it now and let's move on and let Santa Fe do their thing. Start focusing on that game, Bob.
go.
What's left in the
D5.
Is the D5 now? Let's go to
That would be Chaminade, JW
Ed
North
Croson, right?
High School from Riverside area right there.
J North. All right.
That's right. Yeah,
Moving
Croson
on.
territory in Chaminade.
Let's go.
Always.
And of
And
course,
then,
Highland and Mary Star of the Sea, Bob.
Mary
Your alma
Star-
mater.
oh, that's right. I went to
Mary
Mary
Star.
Star of the
Good
Sea.
job,
Is that
Bob.
like chicken
That
of the
is my-
sea? I'm thinking of tuna right now, and you know, no offense, but that is kind of a weird name for a high school.
Sarah
Archer School.
Archer School for the girls, which I think Mo matriculated from.
Don't start with any Cap Kilpatrick references here. That's not what that school's like. That's a different school.
Archer School for the girls, and I don't know where that one is either.
I don't know. I don't know what that's all
Not
about.
quite sure where that one is. But,
All right. Do
we'll
we have
hear
any
about
more?
it.
Is there one more? No, there's not. All right.
That is it.
Time. Is it time for Randy Rosenblum's
I think it's
segment?
time for
Or we
Randy
got the
Rosenblum.
breaks. We got the break for. We got the
LA
ads
City.
first. Well, let's
Well, I
look at
think
it.
it's Rosenblum.
All right, let's go to Rosenblum, LA City section.
has won its 5th straight girls track and field championship. The Colts were victorious in the sprint and mile relay, and they went 1, 2, 3 in the long jump. However, Angelina Camello of San Pedro is the fastest girl in LA. She won the 100 meters. Dorsey won its 3rd straight on the boys' side. That's 7 to 9 years for the Dons and 18 overall going back to the mid-60s. They piled up a lot of points in the field events. However, the 100-meter champion is from Westchester. That's Esteban Bozeman. He wins the 100, and he's a football player. Great kick returner and a running back. Speaking of football players, Jamar Jefferson of Narbonne won the 200-meter. He's a terrific running back, led the Gauchos to the city championship and a state crown, and he's going to play football at Oregon State, but he does win the 200 meters. In city baseball, in the Open Division, let's talk about the quarterfinals. Top-ranked Cleveland was a winner. They shut out Banning 3-0. Brian Andrade pitching a scoreless game through 6 1/3, then the bullpen pitched in. Roosevelt fell to El Camino Real 4-3. Great game there. Adam Christensen was the hero. He was the winning pitcher in relief, and he also had the game-winning hit. The defending champion Birmingham Patriots got a 5-3 victory over Kennedy. Eric Rivas was the hitting star. He had 3 hits. 2 of those were doubles. In Chatsworth, last year's city runner-up to Birmingham knocked off San Fernando 6-0 behind the great pitching of Gabe Archucaro. He's a sidearmer and very, very good. As you could tell, all 4 teams from the West Valley. Palisades outside hitter Akil Tangator is our Open Division Boys Volleyball Player of the Year. He led that fine team, the Dolphins, to a city championship, and they also won one match in the state tournament before they fell to Corona Del Mar. The D1 top player was Angel Felix of Narbonne. He's a senior outside hitter. The middle blocker from Verdugo Hills, Greg Pond, who has over 1,000 kills in his career, that senior was the D2 Player of the Year. In football news, there's a fabulous passing tournament. It's going to happen coming up on June 9th, hosted by the Franklin Panthers. Some of the schools that'll be there are Eagle Rock, San Fernando, Reseda, Verdugo Hills, Roosevelt, and Grant. And speaking of those Grant Lancers, they should be terrific next year. You know, the Lancers have won 20 out of their last 24 games. They were 8-3 last year. The prior year, they were 12-1. And they returned quarterback Adrian Beeks. They can play him all over the field because they have two gifted quarterbacks. They also have Angel Garcia, who can really throw the football. When Garcia quarterbacks the team, they'll move Banks to running back or out on the flanks. And they also have a terrific running back in Michael Smith, who will be a junior this year. He was wonderful as a sophomore. They'll definitely be favored in the East Valley League. Franco Stasili really has it going at Grant. The Lancers have been playing great football now for a few years. And young man stepping down and been a great, great coach at Fairfax. That's Shane Cox. He's going to retire after this year as the head football coach of the Lions. He's helped the Lions win a couple city championships year in and year out. You get great football teams from Fairfax, great respectability, always hard hitting. His teams are always mentally prepared. Cox will take his Lions into battle this year. I'm sure they'll have a successful year, but this will be the final season that Shane Cox is roaming the sideline at Fairfax High School, where he has really established a dominant program. Now let's go back to the guys.
Thank you, Randy. Randy again with the city section. City section is pretty much wound down, Bob.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty small area to cover out there, so it's not quite as big as the southern section, which takes an extra week or two to get through it. Let's go to sponsors. Want to remind you that the following folks have paid a promotional fee to be on this show. Yard House. Yeah. There in Brea. There you see it. It's right there on South Brea Boulevard. That's like Imperial Highway and Brea Boulevard, I think. It's like one in from the corner, two in from the corner. But what a place. Was there last night. Had a great time out on the patio. I heard they're going to do something with that patio, Bob. They're going to upgrade it, make it a big party palace like Studio 54 back in New York
palace,
City.
Man. It's going to be even more.
Remodel it. I heard they're going to remodel it, put some new TVs out there, balloons.
Got 500 big screens already. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm digging it. All right, KM3 Project, get on their website, have a look at them. They support people who have cancer. They pay their bills, man, when they need it done. So that's a good place to look. If you're going to donate to a charity, that's the one to go. No money to research. All goes to helping people live with their affliction. So very good organization there. Support them wholeheartedly. All right, back to the business of business. Last week we talked to you about Sidney Bouvier, Portley, whatever his name was. This kid was 25 years old. He enrolled in high school again to relive his glory days. And then, how could this guy not think somebody would recognize him?
He shaved. He was 25. What you do is shave. You look a little bit younger.
Okay. I'm with you. I was looking for a follow-up. Nobody's following up on this story. I think they want it to go away back there.
Sweeping?
Yeah, I think there's
sweeping going on?
Because the networks weren't talking about it. Newspapers aren't talking about it. Normally with a dicey story like this where a 25-year-old guy is dating a 14-year-old kid, I mean, really? Somebody's going after him. So, maybe they got him already. Maybe it was street justice. Who knows? Like you were calling for. I never call for street justice, by the way. Yeah, it's just karma will get you in the end. But anyways, no follow-up. We're going to continue on that story because he gets away with that. That's going to be amazing.
He won't get away.
I want his movie made. I want a movie of the week.
Oh, it's coming.
But I want it to be like a sitcom, but not a comedy, but drama.
I could play him.
I bet you could. All right. Well, anyways, we thought it was kind of interesting to follow up on that story. Now, the crazy story this week in high school was the track and field event out in New Jersey. All right?
or was it?
New Jersey. I think it was Newton or something. I can't remember. But anyways, the Brick City Invitational, okay? So I guess this Brick City Invitational was a big old track meet. I mean, there must be, I think I ran in it when I was in high school. That's how big it was. Apparently, nobody was coming. They couldn't get anybody to come or whatever. But the CEO of this event decided that he would say, yeah, we had the track meet. Here's all the scores. Sent the scores to the paper, to their version of the CIF and or city section group that manages all this stuff. And there's also another group, guys, I can't remember the name of it, but I shouldn't even name them because if you get hoodwinked like that, how good could your site be? How can I trust any of that information that you have on it? What do you mean, wait?
If this thing was so big, there was nobody there covering it? No media?
No,
because
press,
nobody?
One of the schools said that the reason, when they caught on, they said, well, hey, couldn't have been us because I think it was Notre Dame High School back in New Jersey. And they said, we had our own track meet. We had our own invitational the same day they claimed that we were there, and we weren't there.
That's
all right?
crazy.
Now, It gets better. So Corey Johnson, I believe, is the name of the guy, the CEO. Now, when he put in the scores, what caught a lot of people's eyes were some of these scores were like world records and stuff, man, you know, like
Why not,
90-foot shot put, you know, and some guy did the, you know, did the javelin throw. It's still in the air, still going. They haven't even got the measurement yet. It's that good. So based on some of these scores that were reported, their version of CIF would allow a lot of these athletes to go to state without having to qualify anymore because they were such sensational stuff going on. So I think it's great that everybody got hoodwinked, you know, because nobody got hurt in this thing, and really they didn't. But it's like, what the hell's going on out there?
What do you mean nobody got hurt?
The CEO guy got hurt.
What do you mean I got hurt? I spent $15 on a ticket.
There we go.
I spent $15 on a ticket. I need a refund, Coach.
I love it.
Somebody get Moe's money back. Quick.
Listen, you know what? The only one that kind of somebody like me got her because the shot put, and they said it was 80 foot. I set the record at 75. You know what I mean? So a lot of my records fell in that track meet, even not in New Jersey, just national stuff. You know what I mean?
That is so crazy.
But yeah, but that's how ludicrous. All right, me saying that, that's how ludicrous it is that this guy did this, and people were buying into it big time. Moms were calling. They were mad, demanding a recount, demanding people investigate this. I love New Jersey.
Unreal.
I love the state of New Jersey. All right, one more thing we want to talk about today. Let me see what it was. Oh, the hazing coming out of Davidson, Alabama.
Why are we still having hazing incidents? These are terrible.
Bob,
Yeah,
you know what?
This is awful.
This was the worst. I thought the Penn State thing. Okay, the Penn State thing was the ultimate worst because I believe somebody died in that, right? Okay, that's the absolute worst thing that could happen. But this hazing story you see there, a 14-year-old kid got promoted to the varsity squad, and the first thing they did when the kid was, I don't know if they did it out of hate, out of spite. They're calling it hazing, but I don't think it's hazing. I think what happened is that the senior or the junior, whoever was above this kid, that's their buddies. And they grabbed him the minute he got in that locker room, and they stomped the hell out of him. I saw the video, and I won't even let these guys show it here. It's that heinous. If that happened to me, everybody would be, well, I shouldn't even say that, but everybody would get payback instantly because I'm telling you, it was 20 guys kicking him, stomping him. They were jumping off, jumping in the air and just landing on top of this kid. And this kid can't be more than $160. I'm talking weight-wise, maybe 6'1", 160 pounds. He ain't got no beef on him. As a lineman, you go, that's nothing. But it wasn't a lineman. He was a skinny little kid, and they beat the daylights out of him.
So how badly injured was this kid, man?
Broke
Did he go to
his
the hospital,
arm,
right?
had contusions everywhere.
Jeez.
I mean, dude, it reminded me of gang initiations back in the 70s, where if you wanted to get in a gang around town, you had to get your butt kicked by everybody in the gang at the same time, and if you lived for a minute, they'd let you in the gang. If you cried and went home, woo, then you couldn't get in the gang. This was vicious. These kids were 2 times, 3 times the size of this kid, and they were full out swinging on him, kicking him, stomping. I see no benefit in it, and if it's not a hazing incident, anybody who was involved in it needs to do a little bit of time.
They're going to do some time, and that's not okay, just so you know.
No, it's not okay on any level. None.
14-year-old.
Even the hazing we went through when it was cool wasn't anything like that.
No,
it wasn't
you're right.
like
We all
that.
And the hazing that I go through here,
yeah,
nothing like that.
So anyways, it's just terrible stuff, but we won't show the video. You want to look it up, just Google it. You'll find it, but it has no place here. And I know we walk to the edge a lot of the times. We always walk out here. We're like, wow, did you just say that? We're not going to jump over.
We don't need
Sorry.
to show some poor 14-year-old kid
No,
getting his
that,
No.
there's no
value in
entertainment
that.
value at all in that. All right, good luck to Santa Fe High this week in the Division 4. I could say that because I'm an alumni there. On behalf of Bob Gibson, Moe, your teams are out. Bob, where's your school?
Oh,
Where's your
they're
softball team?
Done.
My team's on top of the world
Finished.
right now, brother.
They never got in the race.
On behalf of Gibson and everybody else here, including Moe and Richard Stray, said so long from your friends here at the SoCal Prep Report. We'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.
Oh, man, that wouldn't go anywhere.
You gotta go fast.